So the news making rounds right now is the fact that Samsung has now gotten their license to be able to supply OLED panels to Huawei. But the thing here is that there is a catch. The company can only supply the display, but they cannot supply the chips that make the display work, which is pretty much useless if you can only supply part of the panel, because it's almost like giving somebody a car without an engine. It's not gonna work. So today it's reported that Samsung has gotten approval from the US government to supply Huawei with um OLED displays. The thing here is that they got the approval for the displays, but not the chips that make the display work when you piece it together, which is a big problem for Huawei in a sense. Ever since the ban they got last year and the whole problem that has happened to Huawei in the smartphone division, it has been really hard for them to get their smartphone game up and running to the level that they were running at prior to their ban last year. Um, Look, last year, if I'm not mistaken, Huawei was even outselling Apple at some point. They were currently last year the second highest selling phone manufacturers on the planet. And they held that title till the ban happened and their sales dropped because they couldn't sell in the United States. And, when you can't sell in the United States, there's no way you can become the second biggest smartphone selling brand in the world, no matter how big you are in China. So that's what it is. Now there is a little bit of good news, and the good news is that even with the whole debacle, even with the whole issues that Huawei has faced between last year till now, Huawei is very, very, very profitable, and it is crazy how profitable they have actually become, because as of right now, Huawei made between last year till now $100 billion. Now that is total revenue. That is incredible. Huawei has not only just made the predicted amount that they were expecting to make this year, they have actually exceeded the projected amount that they were expecting to make this year, considering all the setbacks that they have had. They not only made more money, but they made more profit. So Huawei is fine as far as I'm concerned. Like, I know we had the pandemic, we had a lot of stuff, but I don't think it affected Huawei as much as people make it out to be on the internet. Because take a look at a brand that got banned in the United States, got banned, if I'm not mistaken, got banned in Europe as well. I'm not sure. You guys have to fact check me on that, but I know that many brands that supply all the manufacturers of smartphone chipsets in the in the UK, in Europe, I think stop sending those chips to Huawei last year. I don't know all the companies by heart, but I know they stopped supplying Huawei. So it's crazy to think that Huawei, with all the setbacks, even with Google pulling the Google OS and Google Play stuff from their services, it is so good to see the brand still hold up resiliency and keep fighting, and they have been able to become very profitable. For a company that has been kicked to the side to make $100 billion in a year is incredible. For the fact that it's even being reported that 8% of that revenue is their profit, that is incredible. This is a brand that is not even supposed to be competing in the league of the Apples of today, but it is pretty much competing in the league of the Apples of today, and it is really holding up very, very well. Um, it's, as you can see, it's reported that they generated a revenue of 671.3 billion yen, which is over $100 billion. This is an increase 9.9% over the same year prior, which is pretty much 2019. That their profits and proceeds drop. So on the profit end, the company's net profit is about 8%. Throughout the first 3 quarters of 2020, Huawei's business result basically met expectation. This is quite interesting because many analysts did not expect Huawei to meet the stipulated expectations that they had for it. So this is quite interesting. The US government put pressure to put out Huawei out of his misery last year because Donald Trump had issues with the Chinese companies and the security, and there was a trade war, and he wanted to boot all the Chinese brands out, and the same was going on in China where they were booting out many American brands as well. So it was a crazy 2019 in the business world. But for the fact that you have Huawei still making over $100 billion in profit, that's just incredible. So that is the news right now. Huawei is doing fine. They are going to produce more smartphones come 2021, and I'll be sure to bring you guys all the news relating to their products. Be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe right now, and follow us on social media, and I'm going to see you guys next time.